Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on ailments, continuing with ailments starting with the letter O and P1. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Please refer to my How to Use Homeopathic Remedies video before using the material in this video. I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on specific ailments, but I've broken these ailments into categories for easier reference. I'll begin with ailments of the mind and emotions, then move on to ailments of the brain and nervous system, then the skin, nails, and hair, then conditions of the eyes, ears, and nose, then teeth and gums, lungs and respiration, heart, blood, and circulation, muscles, bones, and joints, then ailments of the esophagus, stomach, and duodenum, and then small and large intestines, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas, then ailments of the kidneys and bladder, then ailments specific to women and specific to men, and issues of hormones and metabolism, and then I'll address the issues of homeopathic remedies on infections, infestations in the immune system, then issues surrounding fertility and pregnancy, and surrounding childbirth and postnatal problems, then homeopathic remedies that address special problems in infants, ailments and diseases in child and in special issues of the adolescents, and finally, special issues of the elderly. Constitutional treatment involves treating the totality of the individual person. Everyone is a unique individual with a unique physiology that responds to substances differently. In homeopathy, it's recognized that people will react strongly to certain remedies, and as a result of this, they can be loosely placed into different categories called constitutional types. Homeopaths talk of, for example, phosphoric types. These are people who react strongly to phosphorus, or arsenicum album types, those who react strongly to arsenicum album. The belief is that people of one type share similarities in terms of body shape, character, and personality, and the sorts of diseases from which they suffer. As an example, a natrum mur person tends to be pear-shaped, have a dark complexion, be fastidious and rigid in personality, and keep themselves to themselves. They also crave salt and suffer from constipation. As another example, Lycopodium types tend to be tall, gangly, and of stooped appearance, with an anxious expression and a craving for sweets, and a propensity to produce intestinal gas. Now, of course, constitutional types have their limitations. In reality, each person is an individual, and so there are as many constitutional types as there are human beings. An account must be taken of the sum total of the person's inherent predispositions, past illnesses, diet, general reactions to the environment, intellectual and emotional features, and general attitude towards life. This is what is meant by constitutional treatment. I'll be making detailed videos of the various constitutional types after I've completed the use of homeopathic remedies on ailments. The ideas, procedures, and suggestions in this video and all my homeopathic videos are not intended as a substitute for the medical advice of a trained health professional. Consult your physician before adopting the suggestions in this video. If you're pregnant, do not attempt these techniques without the approval of your physician. So, let's continue with learning how homeopathic treatments can help with mental and emotional ailments. Today, we'll continue with mental and emotional ailments that begin with the letter O and P1. Obsession and compulsions. An obsession is a thought or idea that seizes the mind and won't let it go. A compulsion is an irresistible urge to act out a thought or idea, however absurd. Hypochondria, for example, is an obsession with health that is translated into buying cupboards full of medicines. Anorexia is an obsession with physical appearance that translates into self-starvation. Most people develop relatively harmless obsessions and compulsions at some time or another commonly to do with diet, health, hygiene, or personal safety. But if certain thoughts or actions begin to dominate behavior and disrupt work, family, and social life, treatment should be sought, initially through a regular doctor. Homeopathic treatment for obsessions and compulsions is constitutional and long-term, and is compatible with physiotherapy, but not always with psychoactive drugs. So be aware of that. Most people, when they're ill, suffer not only from the basic diagnostic symptoms of the disease, but also from symptoms that are specific to each person. In orthodox medicine, these individual symptoms are mostly unimportant, but in homeopathy, they are vital for giving the correct prescription. This is why different patients may receive different remedies for the same disease. Some important additional things that can be done to strengthen the body so that it can focus on healing itself are proper nutrition first and foremost, and a comprehensive vitamin and mineral supplementation program, which I've outlined in my videos on these topics in my Maintenance of Good Health playlist. Specific remedies now. These homeopathic remedies are to be taken every 2 hours for up to 10 doses, only if an obsession or compulsion becomes overwhelming. 1. The obsession and compulsive person has thoughts of death and dying and feels worthless. Call 911 for this and use Aurum 30C. 2. The obsessive and compulsive person feels as if body and mind are separate, or that their mind is being controlled by some superhuman agency. Use Anacardium 30C. 3. The obsessive and compulsive person has an unshakable feeling of inadequacy and experiences an overwhelming urge to sit on the floor and count small objects. Use Silicea 30C. The obsessive and compulsive person is convinced there are live animals wriggling around in their stomach, or that their limbs are made of glass and so brittle that they'll break, especially if they have warts. Use Thuja 30C. Paranoia. Paranoia is when people have persistent delusions about being persecuted. These are occasionally accompanied by hallucinations. The behavior of the person concerned is usually completely consistent with their delusions of being followed, spied on, picked on, or singled out for destruction. Constitutional homeopathic treatment is only appropriate in less severe cases of paranoia. Most people, when they are ill, suffer not only from the basic diagnostic symptoms of the disease, but also from symptoms that are specific to each person. In orthodox medicine, these individual symptoms are mostly unimportant, but in homeopathy, they are vital to giving the correct prescription. This is why different patients may receive different remedies for the same disease. Specific remedies. These homeopathic remedies are to be given every 12 hours for up to 10 doses, while professional treatment is being sought. 1. For the paranoid person whose symptoms are fairly mild, use Lachesis 30C. 2. For the paranoid person whose symptoms are acute and severe, use Hyoscyamus 30C. Phobia. A phobia is a more or less disabling fear that is attached to a specific object or situation that is, on the face of it, not all that threatening. A phobia may be the result of an unpleasant personal experience, or it can also be a fear copied from parents, a fear transferred from quite another object or set of circumstances, or a fear dredged up from the deepest levels of consciousness. Phobias can also be the result of an organic disease, such as epilepsy, a brain tumor, or brain injury. Acute panic states can also be brought on by hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, or hyperventilation, which is fast, shallow breathing that starves the brain of oxygen. Where no organic cause can be found, conventional treatment is by drugs to control the anxiety in various forms of behavioral therapy, notably desensitization. Step-by-step exposure to the fearful object or situation coupled with relaxation techniques and very unpleasant full-scale exposure to it. Homeopathy, on the other hand, offers constitutional treatment and a number of remedies for specific situations. Some important additional things that can be done to strengthen the body so that it can focus on healing itself are proper nutrition first and foremost, and a comprehensive vitamin mineral supplementation program, which I've outlined in my videos on these topics in my Maintenance of Good Health playlist. Specific remedies for the fear of heights. Homeopathic remedies to be taken 4 times daily for up to 14 days, or every half hour for up to 10 doses if the fear is intense. 1. For the phobic fear that causes a person to want to jump, use Argentum Nit, 6C. 2. For the phobic fear associated with the sensation of falling, use Borax, 6C. 3. For the phobic fear that is associated with extreme giddiness, use Sulphur, 6C. Specific remedies for a fear of the dark. Homeopathic remedies are to be taken 4 times daily for up to 14 days, or every half hour for up to 10 doses if the fear is acute. 1. For the person who's afraid of the dark and talks and prays continuously, use Stramonium, 6C. 2. For the person that is afraid of the dark and is nervous and highly strung and responds immediately to affection and reassurances, use Phosphorus, 6C. Specific remedy for stage fright, fear of performing in public. Homeopathic remedies are to be taken 4 times daily for up to 14 days, or every 1/2 hour for up to 10 doses if the fear is acute. 1. For people experiencing stage fright who have great apprehension, although the person performs well once they've started, or for the person who, when eating in company, feels full after a small amount of food and socially feels inadequate, use Lycopodium, 6C. 2. For people experiencing stage fright with weakness at the knees, use Gelsemium, 6C. For people who are experiencing stomach upsets before performing, use Anacardium, 6C. 4. For people experiencing stage fright with a fear acute enough to cause flatulence and diarrhea, use Argentum Nit, 6C. With certain less extreme phobias, if the motivation is strong enough, it is possible to desensitize yourself to some extent. This is also true of some animal phobias and of claustrophobia and agoraphobia. Take things very slowly, exposing yourself to the thing you fear step by step. Learn a few simple breathing and relaxation techniques so that you can diffuse anxiety each time it threatens to get the better of you. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.